Today we are making homemade Nutella and homemade jam.
You have the homemade Nutella and you have the homemade jam.
And the jam will be made with fruits that we found outside. So while we are taking this one out on a walk, nothing happened. We are going to collect fruits. And as you can see, the birds are shaky because of the new arrival of the chicken. Look at those wild dinosaurs on the floor, eating the flesh of the poor baby plants that was given to them as a sacrifice. Oh, chicken. But I'm really glad that they seem to be comfortable enough to find a drink and to go looking for food. Even if the search for food is a bit unfructuous, because as you can see, every bowl that we have left for the chicken have been occupied by other bird. Maybe she is scared of imposing herself, or maybe she just isn't used to eating in a bowl. Do you want to go outside by any chance? Yeah, go. Yes. Don't forget to feed your dog some vegetables or greens.
Yesterday I gave them cucumber. Apparently they prefer grass. They didn't eat much cucumber at all.
In most cases, there isn't any vegetables in most of dry food for dogs, and even if there are, it's probably really bad quality or even rotten legumes that are used.
Fun fact, we saw a video yesterday that taught us that in dog food, like the kibbles, they put dead pets, your dead pets. And that's why we make homemade food for our pets. Fun facts, humans are pets too, so we make homemade food for us. Now let's go back to foraging some greens for our jam. Actually, it's not greens, it's strawberries. Walking, looking for wild fruits. Oh, here! A bush of wild strawberries! Look! We're out! We're collecting wild strawberries, Up! We're collecting wild strawberries to put into our jam. I just encountered wild strawberries. No kidding, look at that. Those are white strawberry bushes. We could think that those strawberries are not ready, but they are so soft. They are really ready. I think this is a genetic mutation that gives white strawberries. I've never seen that before. Look at that, so cool. And now we pick up white, wild strawberries. And now we pick up white, wild strawberries. And they are so ready to be eaten. So good.
So it's not much, but it's honest work, as people say.
And congratulations to Piu Piu, who is doing all of this while having their periods and fasting for a whole day. This is the end of the season for the wild strawberries, so we will probably have to find a new fruit if we want to continue making jam.
We went and bought some Milka to make homemade Nutella. You know what I love, people? To see the damage of urbanization. Behind me was a field full of wild flowers and plants and strawberries among stuff that they planted. They destroyed everything, look at that. They only kept the stuff that they planted. They kept the border with wild strawberries. Here we have what it looked like the other side. This side looked a bit like this before. Look at how much wild edible plant there is here. Wild strawberries, wild strawberries, wild strawberries, wild strawberries, wild strawberries. There used to be a ton of wild strawberries here and they destroyed everything. This is how much I love, of course, urbanization. I love destroying everything I like to eat.
Also, it's a really bad idea to do that for the plant that they choose to keep, because the more greenery you have on the ground, the easier it is for the ground to retain water. So the more plants you have, the healthier the one you want kept alive will be. So doing this is just plain a bad idea.
We love destroying the ground. So fun. We finally have some silence because they are all asleep. All asleep, look at that. so much fluff, so Raichu is finally shutting their freaking, where is Raichu? Here, shutting their freaking mouth.
Now the next step before making the jam is separating the white strawberries and the other fruit we took with us. Afterward, we are going to take the seeds out of those because the seeds are toxic, and we only keep the flesh of the fruit. Look at how full of sugary juice those fruits are. Are going to taste amazing.
These taste like syrup. So much sugar in it, so good. It's from a pine type of tree, but don't eat the seed.
We just finished taking care of the mix of fruits. We left some of this fruit because it's incredibly annoying to peel off because it's really resinous.
So sticky, look at that. It's so hard to just get the seed out because the seeds are toxic and we want to make jam, so we will just eat and spit the toxic seed out.
And we are going to make jam with all of those fruits.
It just broke the pillar. To make the jam, we need to mix sugar with crushed fruits, cook it for 20 minutes, medium temperature.
But because it's mostly sugar and fruits, it can get very hot.
We are adding the crushed fruits in a pan.
The pan was used before to make caramel, so that's what's sticking at the bottom. But it's fine because it's only water and sugar, and it's two stuff that are already present in the jam preparation. Here is around the same amount of fruits that we have for the jam, but this time it's sugar. Okay, so apparently I made a mistake. We are not supposed to use the same amount, but the same weight. But sugar weighs more than a bunch of crushed fruits. So I was supposed to use way less sugar than this. So it's going to be a really sugary jam.
Yeah, tasty jam.
But as you know, if every pork chop was perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs.
You don't know, that's Steven Universe reference!
And here is the final look of the jam. It's going to cool down inside of this container.
To make a homemade version of Nutella, we will be using hazelnuts that we are going to crush into this fine powder.
Meanwhile, I'm doing a homemade caramel.
Using sugar and water and heat. The caramel is ready. We will let it dry, harden, and we'll be able to crunch it. So satisfying. Rod used to use caramel as a hair removal method. Did it work well?
Actually, it's fairly nice. It's not easy to make the right texture for hair removal, but a basic caramel is really easy. You just need the portion of sugar you want to use, and then you add a tad of water. You let it boil, just enough so that the water can evaporate properly, and afterward you have a really nice caramel.
With hair in it. To melt the chocolate, I will add water here so the water will boil. Crushed chocolate inside. Sister below, we're boiling the water below to make chocolate.
Just look how satisfying it is.
The sculpture of a tongue. Look.
This is the mix of caramel, hazelnuts and oil. Here we have the chocolate, and we are going to pour it together, mix it up, and we will be done and have our homemade Nutella. This is how it looks in the end. It smells absolutely amazing. You have the homemade Nutella and you have the homemade jam.
We basically just missed the bus, so now we are going to Japonais à volonté. It's basically a restaurant when you can eat as much as you want.
It's a all-you-can-eat buffet.
Exactly. And we're going there 40 minutes on foot. We didn't eat yesterday, so
we are tired
fasting.
and hungry.
Yeah. We forgot to mention, but we ran after the bus a long time.
Yay! And we still missed it.
Yeah.